You don't know the way. You don't know the way.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome. I am Game Trooper, your dragon in the blue inferno, and welcome to the stream. Tonight, we're going to be playing a game called Slay the Princess. It's a point-and-click kind of game. That's what we're going to be playing tonight. But how is everyone doing? It is Friday night. For some, tomorrow's the weekend and we are free from work. For others, not so much. Alright, let me get this. There we go. Alright. English. Black Tabby Games. Content warning, this is a horror game and is not intended for all audiences. Please visit our website if you need to list specific content warnings. Slay the Princess contains flickering image effects as well as parallax effect on rare occasions that cause much sickness in players. If either of these effects cause health issues for you, you can disable them in the game's preferences. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Okay. Alright, I think we're ready to start, so this, also I did not know, but I got the pristine cut. Okay. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Fear not, princess, for your hero is coming!
You're here to slay her.
Oh!
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ah. The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Wow, there's so much dialogue. Turn around and... can't someone else do this? Forget it. I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet. I've always wanted to turn off a monarch. Viva la revolution. Viva la revolution. Silently continue to the cabin, turn around and leave. Have you ever considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Okay.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Okay, Mr. Narrator. Proceed.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Okay, so
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
But which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
What if I don't? What if I don't? Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
You sure about that?
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Narrator. Why don't you tell me? Can't someone else do this?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Oh, wow. Sweet, I've always wanted to offer monarch. Viva la revolution!
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further.
Okay.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Okay.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right. Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Yes. Into the basement. Here we go, down.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Stab. Stab, stab.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Right. Hi!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Okay.
You walk down the stairs
Why
and
does
lock
she have
eyes
like
with
a
the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Maybe. What? No way! Why would you even think that? Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you. Nuh-uh. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
I'm a risk taker.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Okay. Fine then. I guess we're at an impasse. Squint at the princess while holding on to the blade. Drop the blade. Slay the princess.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you? You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
Okay.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Ah.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
Right.
Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
Right?
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Yay! Chapter 2, The Adversary.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
No, we're not.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that.
Whoops.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Uh-huh.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
How did I not?
We did our best with the information we were given. And we did kill her. And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? Ugh, enough with the talking. We've got a fight to win. Nothing else matters.
Nice, that's an awesome song by Metallica.
I couldn't agree more. The cabin and your destined confrontation with the princess awaits.
Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
To quote you from last time around, she's just a princess. Why was she strong enough to beat me to death with her bare hands?
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine.
Right. We killed each other last time around. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world. Oh, this is maddening. Why do you keep asking questions? There's nothing wrong with getting the full picture of what's going on here. Sure there is. It's wasting time and energy that would be better spent fighting.
Who locked her in that basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
I will. If people locked her, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. What else would we even need to know? We've got all the reason we need for a rematch. Exactly. The less you know about her, the better.
Alright.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Again. Alright.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Don't believe a word
says.
she said. Ba-ba-dee-ba-da-ba-dee-ba-da. I've heard it all before.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal.
Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
Gonna go to the cabin in the woods.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. See? Even the cabin has the right idea. Let's get moving. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
But there's a mirror.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. You already wasted so much time in the woods. Who even cares if there's a mirror?
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Okay. This whole cabin is different than last time.
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. The world is depending on you.
Yeah.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Stab. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost Threatening? Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
Okay, Stellar, calm down.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
Well, she still remembers.
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
I hope you heard all that, Mr. Narrator. This is a lot different than last time, but last time definitely happened!
Okay, fine. Let's say for a moment I believe you. For all we know, whatever happened to you last time was just a fluke, and beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember what happened last time. Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
So you do remember me?
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
Oh jeez, damn, 3 minutes, so fun.
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking.
You look different.
You look exactly the same.
Oh. Turn around and leave without saying anything. I'm not saying I'm not here to fight, but I think the two of us have a few things to unpack first. Like how we're both still alive.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, attack then.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count. Oh, we'll make it count, all right. As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood. But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor. You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact. She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you?
No, I don't.
That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win.
Right. Listen, can I just lay here and just like take 5 minutes? She broke my ribs.
She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her.
Right. I'm going in!
Plan then. That's your plan. You push off the ground, ignoring the pain in your ribs as you charge at the princess once more. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing.
Crap. Push.
We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm.
Alright. Unlodge and attack from a different angle.
You pull back on the blade's hilt, doing your best to free it from its sinewed prison. But as you tug the blade free, the princess slams you down onto her knee. It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. And you find yourself in midair, effortlessly tossed across the room. You hit the floor, your ribs complaining painfully, but you can feel the hilt in your grip. You still have your weapon. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last. This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her.
My ribs are broken!
She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
Oh.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes. As her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 3. The Eye of the Needle.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you.
Yeah. We haven't talked enough about how different this place is. I wouldn't even call these woods. It's like her influence has poured out into the world.
It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why wouldn't the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly wrong.
Right. What if I don't agree with the plan? What if I'd rather do something else?
You're the chooser. The best we can do is advise, but we can help if you let us. These are just powerless thoughts and opinions. You don't need to let them drag you and the world to ruin.
Okay. No matter what happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the cabin. We might as well see this through.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
Proceed to the cabin. Alright, let's
The
sit.
interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge.
There's also a mirror.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it.
You never mentioned the
Maybe
mirror.
it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. And let me assure you, there's no mirror here. The only thing at the end of the room is the door to the basement. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And worst comes to worst, we can smash it.
Okay.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Approach the mirror.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there, it's right in front of you.
No, it's a mirror.
This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there. You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
If you want to fight, then how about you come and get one?
That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
Those chains were nothing to her last time. And there'll be nothing to her this time. But we need to show ourselves first to make her boil over. Fine by me. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness.
Oh shit.
Her face widens.
Damn it, I keep right-clicking. Sorry.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling. Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run.
Okay.
I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Let's talk a bit first. We can always fight when we're done, but I have questions. I want to know what happened after you killed me.
We've talked plenty. I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of you standing just out of reach and teasing me with a fight you won't let me have. You disappointed me last time, so you don't get to choose what happens next.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
I'm going outside.
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Do it. Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
Are you sure you want to do this? You're free now, and out here I have the upper hand. But we don't have to fight.
The princess scoffs.
Free? This is just another place. This is just... What is this? Where are we? This doesn't feel right. It's cold. Why is it so cold? I feel so tired.
What happened? The blind leading the blind. You do not have an opportunity to respond. Something has taken her away and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
You're right. She's gone, it's just us and that awful thing. It's like it's mocking us. Let's just stay still.
The narrator is gone.
He is. Does that mean the world ended? It hasn't ended. We're still here. The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. That thing reeks of death. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Well,
I'm begging you, don't do this.
the mirror never scared you before.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I don't know what
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
It's the end of the world.
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Good point. Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess? Or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
And what if I don't let you do this?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I was sent to slay the princess, to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being cinematic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
much will I forget?
Everything. Until we meet again.
How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Okay.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
You'll know it when you
And in the base, you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
No, you can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting the tab on your keyboard or RI on your controller.
You make your way up the short path.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost...
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Her voice soft.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Hold on. Let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
What's your name?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
So, is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
What are you going to do if I let you out?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
I'm sorry, but I just can't trust you. This doesn't add up, and it isn't worth the risk to take your word over the potential fate of the world.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
So, what? You're going to try and kill me? You'll regret this. I promise you. But go ahead, run along and get whatever you're planning to get. But you'd better hope that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Let's finish
Your
this.
eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she?
Close the door behind you.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
I'll wait.
Oh, do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long time. I'm very good at waiting.
You do your best to patiently wait her out. But eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here. You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off.
Oh shit.
Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, damn. Chapter 2, The Beast.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to slay her.
She's going to kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
Right.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, Something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
Very well.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time. Wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the
This
wooden
one's
walls.
different.
The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. That's because there isn't. There's death and there isn't. What a strange...
Why would you lie about that? What's the point?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, she growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral,
Hey.
impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She's
Yes.
certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Move.
You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze on you.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
Oh.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs. So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
Yeah. What do you want?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants, just slay her. Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful.
Yeah?
She's just a princess. Don't overthink it.
Just a princess!
She's clearly not.
But why? Why do you want to kill me?
Why does anything kill anything else? She needs to.
I didn't say I wanted to kill you.
It sounds like she wants to do something even worse. What she wants only matters if she wins, and you're not going to let that happen. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
Survive.
Jungle, barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
Okay, fine. Why do you want to eat me?
I don't question who I am or what I want. I simply do. To act is always better than to react. To do is always better than to watch.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you do well to listen to her. Less standing around asking questions, more doing exactly as I say.
We don't have to kill each other. What if I helped you? What if we left together? If you could get out of here on your own, wouldn't you have already left?
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what I am.
At least she's upfront about her intentions. A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this.
Stay alive.
You're a dismissed. Or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you, her titanic momentum skinning you along your side. It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast?
You're bleeding now.
You
Yeah?
instinctively touch your side, testing her claim. It's wet and stings from the gentle touch of your fingertips. A costly mistake. We can't make it again. We will make it again unless something changes. We have to break the pattern. We need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
Our game is nearing its end.
Stop hiding and show yourself.
If you want to see me, you should get better at seeing.
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. She won't reveal herself unless she has to. She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of moving again makes your bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move.
Okay. Well. Yeah.
This isn't going to work. We're in her domain and we are bleeding.
Well, we try to run it, if we try to move again, we're probably going to die. If we stand still and do nothing, we're going to die. If we play dead, we're going to die.
Exactly. If we don't do something now, we're finished. As the princess lunges at you from the shadows once more, you tighten your grip, lashing out with the blade. But your injured side stretches and tears as you move, and you find yourself slowed by the sudden pain.
Frick.
Princess, Moore's unhinged and dripping, eyes fierce and full of hunger, closes in on you. You are devoured. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no, this isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible
Did she
to grip.
swallow us whole?
Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
This is like one of the worst ways to die.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. You still have that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
Okay.
Though you have little room to move, you use what strength you can muster to drive the blade forward into the thick walls of tissue digesting you.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
Alright. Go again.
You slice again, deeper, rooting through her meat with the tip of your blade, until at last it finds her beating heart. The pulling returns to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
The Slider Princess.
Though your body is dissolving, eroding into unrecognizable shapes, your will drives it forward. You have a target, and you will strike it. We're too late, aren't we? This isn't survival. This is spite. No, it's something better. It's fulfilling a noble destiny. Your lone functioning arm lashes out, stabbing up towards the princess's heart.
So you found a way to kill me. Then we'll die together. And I will see you again soon.
With those prophetic words, you do not draw another breath, your body tangled and melting in the cooling folds of the princess's flesh. Everything goes dark, and you die. But at least you've saved the world. I hope.
Chapter 3, The Wild.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here?
3.
I think this is our 3rd? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
Oh, I like that. I don't feel so small anymore when you put it like that.
Oh no.
That's because you aren't small, even if you act that way. We're both so much more together than we were apart, and we can be so much more still, vast, unfathomable.
You're not mad at us for stabbing you in the heart, are you?
No. Are you mad at me for swallowing you whole?
Nah, not really. It all seems so petty right now. She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together.
Well, this has
We're
been a
one.
predicament.
This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
Why are you being nice to me? Aren't you a monster? Didn't you eat me?
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
I think we should hear out whatever it is that's trying to be heard. I like to take all options into account before making any big decisions, and what's the harm in just listening?
Gaze at the terror in your heart.
Please, don't make us remember how I was.
And just like that, you start to fall apart. I can remember it now. I didn't like being eaten. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. But she didn't care. She didn't care at all. All of that digging with the knife, and we didn't even get to win. That was hard work. I wanted to win. And what's the point of being part of a larger whole if we're not the one in charge of that whole?
Right.
As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess, you start to remember something else, too. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
No, I devoured you. I won. I put things back the way they were supposed to be.
Some division, when sown, can never
Affairs
truly
can never
be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole.
We get swallowed by it, Kevin.
And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
I feel empty, don't you?
I feel safe. She isn't dangerous anymore. We could leave her. We could both live. Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it. I mean, what's the point of being king of the hill if there's no one around to be better than? We'd just be sitting on a hill. Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to.
Tally ho!
You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart. And then you strike.
I'm sorry.
Damn it, I did it again. But you never see her die. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go?
Approach the mirror.
That thing reeks of death. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a straight answer?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am. What I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself.
You know that at the end of this, once you finish, I'm going to kill you, right?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Why?
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is like a shadow of me, a memory of what she used to be, bound to the wounds of distance and time. She will make for a scarred and beautiful heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
So you don't have any preferences on how you like to change or grow? This is interesting. What do you feel about me? These vessels I've been bringing you, I hurt them.
There is a hurt that dwells in them, but they are not me. They are thoughts and perspectives. They are feelings that inform my being. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I cannot be as I was before. There are new spaces that I must fill.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. The task of finding my vessels is your burden to carry.
I'm ready to go back.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods. You make your way.
Proceed to the cabin. Enter the basement. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Now, if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Hey! Let me out of
Your
here!
shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the
Fine.
princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
Wait. Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
I won't do it!
The blade. Move the blade.
Nay!
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Oh boy, this is not gonna go well.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
This is, terrible.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2. The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her.
Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Oh boy, I sure do enjoy the voices.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched. The blade is your...
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
Oh, jeez, calm down there, bud. Just remind me of someone.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
She's different?
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's
Yes.
right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world. But everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds
like
forever.
The third time I'm
Especially
going
not
through
without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you.
another group of chapters. I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
I have no feelings one way or the other about the movie.
At least you're being honest. I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a nihilist.
Yes.
The princess shifts in uncomfortable confusion.
Me too. I don't care.
She wasn't confused for long. If she doesn't care, then clearly she didn't end the world. It would take a great desire for evil to do something so inconceivable, and our dearest has not an ounce of cruelty within her. All is well, and it's high time we rescued our beloved.
I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Reminds me of I can't remember, but he reminds me of the character from Disenchanted, the prince who gets turned into a pig.
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
What do you
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I just want to leave. We can figure out the rest later.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you will ever know.
I like this. This is so good.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
I think we can open it if we try together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
You cannot deny that our love will conquer all. Cretan, known as the narrator.
I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
You're not doing
You're
that.
enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking
Yes.
every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
Yes.
You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you
ignore them.
wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
Your love will set you free.
Our happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
You don't get a chance to make that jacket, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Is that a...
It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You wither. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
It doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
You figured out what you'll want when we've finished.
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, my awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of self-knowledge.
Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences. You have your responsibilities, and I have mine.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to contemplate the gifts you bring me.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
I'm still planning to kill you once we're done with this.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. I will regret destroying you, if that is what we come to.
I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. Bring the damsel to it. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods.
Alright, we're going to save here. We are going to quit. This is where I'm going to stop. This is pretty interesting. I like it. I like it. It's pretty interesting. Alright, so this is going to be end of the stream. I would love to continue playing that one to finish, but unfortunately I have to go to work tomorrow. Oh well, we got tomorrow night where I can do a longer stream. Alright, so Twitch, we are going to find someone to raid. Let's see, who do we have? Maybe. We're going to raid Ravy. She is playing a game about digging a hole. This ought to be interesting. So we're going to raid Ravy. Let me get our message typed. Alright, Twitch, here is our raid message. If I messed up last time, I apologize. I pushed the wrong buttons. Be sure to copy and paste when we go in. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. For those who are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Excuse me. Excuse me. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this. And be sure to hit that notification bell. That way you'll know when more of my content happens. Excuse me again. And for those who are watching on Twitch, please hit the follow or subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And thank you all so much. I've been Game Trooper, your Dragon of the Blue Inferno. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!